I wish to see your joy.
Oh wow, there's so many.
Look at this one. You ever feel like you were just minding your own business in the Sierra, having a good time, and then somebody made you hike out over Baxter Pass and dragged you all the way back into civilization to then inflict a dentist on you?
Hey, that is called a rescue.
That's kind of like rescuing the princess from the castle and taking her to a BDSM dungeon. This is a weird place, Blondie goes. She calls it her jorb, but it pays for surgery, so. Not on her Gigglinator, they won't fix that. So I hiked out Baxter yesterday. I got to the trailhead at about 7 o'clock. So Jen and I spent a good chunk of the night driving back. We got 2 or 3 hours of sleep and woke up this morning, went and packed. So we were ready to go back today at 3:30. And then I went to a dentist to try and get the crown reattached. Turns out the crown came off because the tooth inside had a cavity. So the tooth is actually out and now needs to be extracted, and that is causing all manner of complications. So per the dentist, the remains of the tooth under what had been my crown were rotten and needed to be extracted. The current situation was stable. It needed to be dealt with within a month, but once I had the extraction, I wouldn't be able to fly for 5 days. Considering I already had a flight booked to Vermont, that meant I had to get taken care of pretty quick. That meant my hopes of getting things fixed and then returning to the big SEKI loop really weren't going to work unless I was willing to completely give up on Vermont. So we decided instead I would drive up with Jen and our friends to do Taboose Pass, hike in with them for the weekend, come back out on Monday, and then try and get the tooth extracted early next week. I would have swore I came up here in my old RAV, but granted I got that in a lot of places.
I did drive my Scion up to this trail once.
Are we going to find it up here? Is it still up here?
I regretted it after, and I think it's gotten worse since then.
Yeah, this isn't Scionable.
Yeah.
Okay, so we drove up from Orange County last night, left at 3:30, got here a little after 10, and we were leaving early to get out of the heat. Basically, Taboose Pass starts at 5,500 or so, so we have a while to get out of the desert floor, and it gets pretty warm down here. This is technically a wilderness class trip, though we're not doing it officially. There's extra paperwork for that, but the 2 people we have with us are both from the Sierra Club Wilderness Travel Course. One's a student, one's a staffer. I am still really bummed this worked out. I was supposed to be relaxing up at Bench Lake waiting for these guys to come up and find me. But oh well. I was also supposed to have all of my teeth intact, technically. On the plus side, my pack is disgustingly light after having like 6-day food carries for most of these trips. This is just 3 days in and out, so a lot simpler than what we've been doing.
Out of consistence.
Yeah. You're in the shot, don't worry. I'm a quasi-professional. Many parts of the Condor Trail are very pretty. There's been lots of fires and it's not maintained well.
Well, it depends.
We are on the infamous Taboose Pass. Just infamous because it is a big steady climb of 5,000 or 6,000 feet. Way better than Baxter, at least. Oh. So we think these are elderberries, but not ripe. They usually get a darker blue. And these are sharp. Having fun yet? Go, Blondie. you know, think about every off day you've ever had around town, right?
Are we running around at the end of lunch trying to pick up everyone's trash?
I don't think you know how many feet. It's cascading. And today on Mastators, Blondie eats random berries.
These are good. They're elderberries.
The jump forward may be us pumping her stomach in about 10 minutes.
No,
Let's
these
see.
are Sierra Classic.
She's very bad at identifying plants. That's why I always make fun of her, because I've caught her trying to eat things that were not what she thought. And they weren't even like fun hallucinogenic things or anything. Tell me if you start seeing pink elephants. Didn't have to worry about teeth falling out anytime I was eating Jelly Bellies. So the berries they're eating are gooseberries. They are kind of sour, a little sweet, depending. And often they are stripped out by bears. Because we're not in the interior here, there are less. So we are finding a lot of really lush crops that actually taste pretty decent. And Jen loves berries, even if they taste horrible. I don't think I've ever seen them this dense. Usually bears, birds, and things strip them. As Blondie would say, oh wow.
Oh wow, there's so many.
Look at this one. I've never seen a load like that, as the kids say. And hopefully we don't find out we've misidentified it, and then we can go that. Remember that time we were vomiting at Bench Lake? We turned Bench Lake into the Lone Star Trail. I like this pass, but it's a little lacking in nice break spots. And we are still climbing as Task Mistress Taters down there drive the group weeping up to altitude.
Hey,
You might think that's a water source below. That's our collected tears and sweat.
we just had a really nice long break by a waterfall.
And then she's making us climb another 1,500 feet or so. And we are pretty much up to the top of the pass. This is a far gentler pass. Despite the long climb, it is a gentle, steady climb. But we still got 6+ miles to get out to where Commandante Taters up there wants us to camp. And welcome to Taboose Pass. Isn't that Arrow? That big thing in the smoke?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So Arrow Peak is famous. Now it's a little smoky here so that you're not quite getting the full effect, but it is a very dominant peak in this area, and there's Bench Lake down below. Ansel Adams has some famous photograph that's reproduced all over the place from Bench Lake looking at Arrow. Before I got all wimpy and started crying about teeth falling out of my head, I would have been coming in from the left and going to the right. The fire that all the smoke is coming from is at Road's End, which is roughly that away. So I'm a little concerned we're gonna get more smoke at the end of the day. But it's okay, Jen's lungs are tough. So this is like quintessential high altitude Sierra Meadow. And if you see a sandy patch out there in the middle of the meadow, that was where I was camping when I had HAPE the second time. Fun times. The unfortunate thing about having HAPE while being camped there is we were well down the wrong side of the pass, and it is really hard to climb a pass with HAPE. Just hanging out. Sometimes when they're not afraid, they've got this parasite. And 2 some days later, here I am back on the PCT, about 10 miles from where I was when the tooth fell out. And I was just telling Jen that I think I probably did this the most difficult way possible. going out over Baxter Pass, spending 2 days driving on very little sleep, and then coming back in via Taboose. So, yeehaw, Blondie.
We did the best we could.
Uh-huh.
I thought we were going to be able to get your tooth fixed.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was going to be a 20 minutes. We just glue it back on and it's taken care of.
Blondie, we approached the place which I was cursed and told never to venture, lest I be smote. But I would have done better in high school if I could have taken twice as long for tests and eaten out of trash cans. I mean, and that massive thing is what Blondie is going to make us climb in the morning. What's that?
I was afraid to boil it any longer.
You gotta low boil it. It's a delicate touch.
We are the only ones at Bench Lake.
That we know about.
So we have an incredibly peaceful and incredibly lovely 270 degrees or so of views around here. And super excited for our peak climb tomorrow. That's the one right in front of us, Arrow Peak. Home sweet home for the night.